Hi there, I am Beckie Belote. I am a Creative Memories Advisor from Newport News, Virginia. And today I can't wait to tell you a little bit more about the geometric border punch. So let's get going. All right, so the cool thing about the geometric frame punch is it's a frame punch. And you can tell it's a frame punch because it's got little lines out here. We've got lots of border punches. They all look the same, except for the frame punches have these little lines out here. So all of them, like this is the birthday cake punch. It's got little lines here. And you know what? This one has little lines there too. All right. But only the frame punches have these. Let me see if I can make you see it. There's a little line out here too. And that means they will go very nicely around a piece of paper. So they're great for framing things. All right. Whereas the birthday cake and, this one, which is one of my faves, they're not frame punches, but they're just plain border punches. So this one you get more bang for your buck. So what I'm going to show you how to do is how to make this plain piece of paper look more like this piece of paper. Is that beautiful? And let me show you how beautiful it actually is if you put it on a contrasting piece of paper. So we could put it straight on. We could do a little angle. Everybody say hello to my bird. That's my bird back there. All right. So the cool thing about this is if you were going to use any of these other ones, you would line them up to the line here and just do a border. And you can do that with this too if I just wanted to make a border. But if I want it to go all the way around, I need to use the framing line, which is out here. So I'm going to line up my piece of paper to the framing line. And when I do that, you're going to see that it doesn't cut the end, and that's important. And I'm going to go down to this, and when I'm done, I want to make sure I don't go too far, or else this won't work. So when I line up with this, I'm going to show you what it looks like. That double line, that's not typical with our border punches. You're going to still see, the idea with this is to cover up the blue. Let me see if I can situate the light a little bit better for you, maybe. All right, the idea is to hide your blue, but when you're doing this, you're still going to see a little bit of blue because of this framing line. So I line up out here, all right? So I know that y'all know how to use the border punches, so I'm going to quickly go through. I hope you do. If you don't, watch me some more because, boy, these I love. I love the Border Maker cartridges, but I think I love the border punches even more. All right, so I'm going to stop there because if I keep going, I'm not going to have a notch. And I need a notch on both ends. All right, why do I need a notch? Because that's what I line up with when I frame. So when I go around, that notch right there is going to go to that frame line that we talked about that is actually outside here. All right, I hope that makes sense. So we're not lining up here. We're lining up to the frame line, which is outside of the cartridge. So let me show you what happens. There will be some notches sometimes caught inside, so knock those out when you see them. And after you do that first one, you just line up like you normally would on the outside, hiding the blue things. And again, don't get so excited that you go down and go too far. All right, so you want that tab sticking out. Got the idea? All right, so I could continue going around, and when I do, I'm going to get this look right here. All right. So just to show you how, and another thing you could do, I talked about how you could kind of throw it off, but you also could cut it in half. You could cut it at a diagonal and use part of this on one sheet, part on the other. So there's lots of things that you would want for a square like this. For example, take a look at this page that I did. Let me move my scraps. I got quite a mess going on here. But this is one where I actually cut it in half. And put half of the pretty border over here. This is the out of this. Now I'm questioning myself. Out of this life. It's a new collection. Look under what's new, and you'll see this beautiful collection. Great for all kinds of outdoors things. The colors are just beautiful. Also, really great if you have somebody in your house that loves astronauts and little moon aliens and stuff like that. But I think it's pretty for almost anything, little boys particularly, and little girls that like NASA. All right, so anyways, crazy cute. All right, so what else can we do? These frame punches, they're going to work in multiples of 2. Well, anything 4-inch or bigger, as long as it's a multiple of 2, would work. So a 4x4 would work. A 4x6 would work. A 4x8 would work. A 10x8 would work. All right, 4 is the smallest dimension, but after that, as long as it's divisible by 2, that's what you want to do to get these looks. All right, so this is a mat for a photograph, and my photograph was 4x6. So if I want this to be a mat for a photograph, I need to bump it up 2 dimensions. So instead of 4x6, cut a mat at 6x8, and then go around and you'll get a look like this. All right, this is what you get if you use a 10x4-inch strip. Okay, so wouldn't that make a really pretty embellishment? All right, so here's the 6x8 that I cut down using this. Once you cut it down a 6x8, it's not going to be a 6x8 anymore, okay? It takes off quite a bit. But you can see how it's a perfect mat for this 4x6 photograph. If you want a double mat, bump it up again. So instead of, this was 6x8, go to 8x10. 8x10 would be perfect to get this look. All right. If you have a 5x7 photograph, this is perfect. This 8x10 is a perfect mat for a 5x7 photograph. Nice. All right, let's look at some other things that you can do. Let's say you wanted to make one of these. All right, well, that's made with a 4x4 square. All right, and the cool thing about 4x4s is these are great with 4x4s because they have lines on both sides here. And so your 4x4 piece of paper simply sticks out just past this carriage, but it lines up perfectly with the frame lines on the outside. So I have each side lined up with the frame lines. So I'm going to mash. I'm going to flip it, line up again. Flip it, line up again, maybe shake out some trash, line up again so that the little tabs that are sticking out are on that frame line. One more, and then we're going to get a really cool look. This will work with all of our border punches, by the way. However, it's not as easy then as the frame ones because they actually have the lines to line up to. It makes it a little bit easier. But is that super, super stinking cute? All right. One of the things I also learned about these is that if you cut yourself a 1/2 inch strip, they will thread nicely through these. So what if I wanted to do something like this? I'm going to throw 2 of them through there. So these are 1/2 inch strips to get this look here. I thought that was really pretty. Can throw it back on here in the middle. Can you see how we could put a photo in all 4 quadrants here? Or I could make it a top embellishment up here. Or I could pull it over like this and have it kind of be like that. You like that? Another thing you could do is put your trash back in. So let's say I had something like this. Let me see if I have some trash that's another color. The trash from another one that you made, you could pop back in those holes to kind of get a stained glass look. You like that? All right. I know you're all shaking your heads at how much you like that. All right, another thing you could do, go ahead and cut yourself a 6x6 square, and after you've cut your 6x6 square, cut it on the diagonal. Then you'll have 2 triangles like this, and we've done this with other border punches, but again, it's going to work really nice with this one. I love the look. So basically, I'm just centering it so that it appears that the same amount is sticking out on each side. All right, I can't line this up with my frame marks, but I can visually take a peek. And then we'll slide both ways, covering that way. Do it one more time. Go the other way now. This uses both sides of the punch when you do it this way. And then one more, and then you have a beautiful look That'll look great. Let's see. Put it on this yellow piece of paper. So a nice corner embellishment. Is that cool? Yes, it's super cool. All right, another thing that I wanted to show you how to do. All right, so this one now, when I did this border, this is just a border. And when I made this border, I would have taken my paper and I would have lined it up with these marks. All right, so this was not one that I was framing. It's just a border. Same technique that you would use with all of our border punches. So I made a border. If you cut the border at 2 1/4 inches, so you went ahead and you did this, you lined up your humps on your trimmer so that it was at 2 1/4 and then cut it off. Then you can do another cool look with it by flipping it upside down. I'm going to go on this side. Putting it in so that it fills the frame completely. Once you've done that, you have a nice little sphere here. And then you can go ahead and finish it up by lining up like you normally would. All right, so it's just that first one that you have to worry about. After that, it works just like normal. And you can do a really cool look that is sure to make you the envy of your scrapbooking friends. All right, so I'm going to pull off any little tag-alongs that got missed. But what do you think about that? Is that super cool? What if I put a border? You could do that or not. Kind of looks like globes a little bit. And again, if you want to add color, you can pop back in some contrasting things to kind of get a stained glass look if you want to. Another thing that I did is I actually put squares behind these. So if you, let me show you what it looks like. This is also using the Out of This World paper pack. I really do think it's called Out of This World. And you can see here, I put little squares behind so that so they kind of pop through. You can still see the white here, but you have green in those spots, which is pretty. I put the barbed wire border maker cartridge on top, by the way, which I think is super pretty. So if you want to do that, what you need is a 1 7/16 inch strip. 1 7/16. So I know that sounds crazy, but right in the middle between 1 and 2 is 1 8/16. So if we want 7, we're going to go back just one little tiny line. Once you've done that, you're going to cut a bunch of 1 7/16 inch little cuts so that you can get bunches of squares. So let me show you how fast this is. And then what you're going to want to do after you cut all your squares is you're going to want to put some repositionable tape on the back here, and then it'll fit perfectly behind. It'll pop right on and give you this look. You like that? All right. One other little thing I stumbled across. If you do a border and you make sure you're using the new little micro scissors because they do a nicer cut on this, and kind of just round about like that on these. Let me show you what you get when you do that. You can get a border that looks like this. In other words, I cut it off and then I rolled it back to get a different look. What do you think about that? Kind of different, huh? Put it on a different color so you can see it better. Again, you'd want to put some repo underneath these to stick it down. And then I realized if I cut one away, kind of at an angle. So what I did, actually it kind of looks cute that way too. Let me cut one this way so you can see. All right, so this, doesn't that look like a pocketbook? Here. Little pocketbook. That way I did the angles one way. This one I did the angles a little bit different. So that could be a little picnic basket or also a pocketbook, like a Kate Spade, like fancy pocketbook. All right, anyways, I hope you like that. That is all I got today. But I hope that you'll go try your geometric punch. I am having a pajama party Not this weekend, but May 21st and 22nd. And if you want to come to the pajama party, one of the little challenges I'm going to give you is to make a page or a border using that geometric frame punch. So if you're coming to that, you might want to get started because you could win a prize. Thanks for watching. Bye.